study has shown that 2 to 12 viewers consider themselves addicted to television, although they are not happy about the amount of hours they spend in watching television, and they feel guilty afterward. But there's really nothing they can do about it. So joining me on the show today is
Ajoke Margaret
and
Angela Okoibo.
Fantastic. So ladies, let's talk. So how do you know when you are addicted to television?
When you can have 24 hours or 48 hours non-stop back-to-back watching TV or watching a movie, you're addicted.
Do you agree with her?
I don't agree.
Okay, so what's your view?
I don't agree to the parts where she says it's just television. I think you shouldn't generalize television because, I mean, you turn on TV and there are lots of things there that don't interest me, so I wouldn't sit and watch.
So, will you say that you are addicted to television or addicted to movies?
I think I would say movies.
Okay.
Particular movies. I have my own genre of movies, the kind of movies
that
I
you watch.
enjoy. Yeah. So
tell us a story. How long were you addicted, and how did you get out of it?
Well, I would say I don't want to believe it's addiction because because really
it makes you feel cool. If that makes you feel good, that's fine. Just tell us.
I enjoy it because this is what happens. I basically I love series. I have a particular series I watch, and you know the series, they come in seasons 1 to 7, and you know it goes like that. So once I start up a particular season and I see it's really interesting, intriguing, and the kind of movie I love to watch, I love to see it to the end.
You can sit down 24 hours.
Yes.
But that's addiction. What are you saying?
I sit and see it to the end. Like there was this series back then while I was still in school. One Tree Hill. I don't know if anyone.
Oh yeah,
it.
I loved it.
Yeah, I saw that series like back to back. I finished season 1.
I'm guilty as well. Man, that was something else.
I saw season 1 and immediately moved to season 2. Like that, like initially, you know, the way it's been sold here in Nigeria, you have to buy season 1 like separately.
And then you have to wait for...
You get, so back initially when I started, what I would do is buy season 1, then watch, and then go and look for season 2. So when I realized how interesting it was, I just picked season 1, 2, 3, everything and then one full morning to morning.
Wow, that's addiction. Why did you say you don't want to call it addiction?
No,
I would say before moving on that before you started picking a particular movie to watch, you started from watching TV. Then from there, you started picking up to movies. Now you actually picked up that caught your interest. It actually started from the TV. That's why I said
it still boils down to addiction to television. Whether you like it or not.
You started watching from the television. You know, from the TV, you all picked up one series or the other before you decided to pick up a series. Decided to pick up the whole pack from the market. Okay, let me now stop watching it from the TV and start, get it to my CD and start watching.
I'll cut you there. When I started watching series, or before I started, I really didn't know much about it, but I heard back in school I heard lots of my friends, hostel mates,
okay,
and all them.
Let me just
talking about it.
I'm feeling lost.
I didn't start from television.
No, let's go to the TV again. Wait, I want to bring out something. Was there any time you sat down at home and watched a particular movie on TV that you liked, or any series, Nigerian series, television, or anything?
Don't go to the window back then.
No, back then or now?
Okay, let's say back then, before you started. So you never watched TV?
Passively, I just see something.
You just grew up and you just heard about the movie and started watching movies.
I heard them talk so much about one particular series, and then I was like, no, I have
must
to.
see this.
Let me see why this.
Oh,
people
So
are
you
all
never
about the
sat
series.
down before the
So
Before the movie, you never sat down to watch TV, like
not even news.
like not focused. Oh, TV, I'm watching you.
Wow.
No.
Oh, wow.
you know, there
No.
used to be checkmates. There used to be.
You never watched all those ones.
No, everyone
You watched
talks
it,
about
okay.
it, but
But not you. Okay. So
There's this other series, Root. Okay, you didn't watch all that.
and
too.
then
anything that has to do with slavery.
Okay, so you heard about
all
it,
those painful stuff.
Stuff you don't really
Not
like
me.
watching that. Okay.
Wow.
So good. Tales
So
by
I
Moonlight.
wasn't-
When you were growing up, Tales by Moonlight.
Mm-mm.
so she was really
Mr.
she was clearly not
So you didn't watch Voltron.
she was clearly not a TV person and she was not addicted to
I wasn't
TV.
a TV person. That's why I'm saying it's not TV addiction.
Okay, so
Yours is movie, clearly movie.
I heard because I watched that series because I heard about it,
Okay.
and then I was curious.
And when you watched it,
When I
you found out
started,
that it was really
I
interesting.
enjoyed it. I was. It seemed as if I was inside the, inside the movie, and I just when I watch them generally, I have this picture. I'm able to visualize it.
That is it. You get
And
into the movie and you're like one of the
Exactly.
characters.
About.
Exactly. When I finished seeing that particular series, and then I was like, okay, which means there'll be other series like this.
Abby?
All right, let me see. And then I said, here
Did you
we
watch
go.
Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Hey.
I'm waiting for the next series. I'm waiting for the dragon with the blue flame.
You know what?
I,
I'm feeling lost right now because I've not watched
oh
all these things.
yeah. Yes. But
actually,
I'm not really following
I
it.
love Power.
And at this
I fell in
point,
love with
at
Power
this stage
because-
where they are in power, I'm not feeling them anymore.
The character.
I'm not really
if you
into
look at the
it
character,
anymore.
I'll tell you, I'm not just watching the foul languages or the sex part of it, but I discovered that one way or the other, it's kind of educative because a child growing up to become not because he wanted to become a drug addict or to
So
sell
because
drugs.
of how they
the
projected that in the movie, the
But
child
you
wakes
look
up
at
thinking that it's actually good to be like this person, right?
No, it's environment.
His environment
that
but
affects-
because he wanted to come later when he got the money, he left it. He went into drugs because he wanted to become something in life, and the best way he could go at that time was to sell drugs, and he became the lord of the drugs, and he became a don. After that, when he got the money, he wanted to up out.
Yeah.
But when you are into what they call this cult or something, it's
Okay,
kind
let me
of
cut you guys right there. Let's not be discussing the the actors and actresses in that movie. Now let's go back to addiction to television. So, but does it affect you negatively? Can you say that being addicted to television affects you in any way negatively?
You can use those hours sitting down watching movie. People that are making money out of it, they don't even know you're watching
They've
them.
paid them, they've gone their ways, and you are
They don't
here
even know you.
stuck on TV.
You are making lots of money. They've actually made their money, but you are losing time. You have invested your time wrongly.
You're not being productive.
Not being productive. Nothing. And I can tell you, I can spend 42 hours watching all the series back to back.
Wow.
Because it's in your
42
head.
hours.
It's in your head. The film gets into your head. You are sleeping here and thinking, okay, what happens to this guy?
you dream about it.
You dream about it. So you're like, God, you know what?
You can't wait to see the
You
next
know
thing.
what?
What, suspense and all that.
Imagine the Game of Thrones. I'm thinking, I know what will happen.
You want to
I
see
know.
Khaleesi?
You know, I can foresee what I've been into the character.
And so you're waiting, like,
I'm waiting.
when is the next one?
When it comes in, I'm getting it. So that's to tell you, it's an addiction. It's
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah,
You can use that time to be more productive, to think well.
So how can you
be better? You can't be somebody that people will watch to.
It helps me relax.
Yes, it does.
But
actually, you don't really
how many
relax,
hours do you need
to
relax? That's 42 hours.
You don't need to watch 42. I mean, I heard of
Well,
somebody.
I don't stay that long anymore. So if it's that,
So now you're no longer addicted. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not saying what's the right. I'm not even the fact that
You are addicted. You are addicted, girl.
If you get the right film, if you get the right film, I'm telling you, you still go back to that 72 hours watching it straight on back to back.
It's addiction. You see?
So one way, because the character.
I'm here to find that
Accept it.
movie.
That movie.
Yes. Maybe
But
when
you
I
might-
do, then
But you
we can.
you might find it. In fact, it's not
Really?
just might. You will
I can
find
give
it.
you one.
Okay.
You see?
I'm waiting.
Don't worry, after the movie I'll tell you.
Okay. Let's bring you guys back. So, people who are, like you said, watching TV for back to back 48 hours ahead of a policeman who watches television for like 70 hours a week. If he has a wife, he had 2 kids.
Wow.
There's another lady, I think she's 23. A week. I can't remember. Yeah, when she's separated or something, she watches for 50 hours.
Oh no, that's addiction. Mine is that.
They have people who watch for like, I'm like, how long? Like you said, you're not being productive, right?
Yeah.
So how can you help this people? What can they do? Are there books they can read? Do they need to see a therapist? What can help them?
They have to
Because
tell
really,
themselves no. Now, if you're a woman
it's difficult
married,
to just say no. I'm not going to watch television.
No, this is no. You can
What
watch
are the
TV.
steps? What are the processes?
I have a friend, because she knows she's addicted. This is what she does. She says no to TV at all. She can walk. She believes if she's going to watch something, she said, I want to watch myself. So that's what she tells the TV. I want to watch myself. If I'm not going to be in that TV, I'm not going to put it on. So she
That helps her.
So that helps her that
Like a self-talk.
like a self-talk. So if I'm not on that TV, I have to be inside.
And
so
so
people have
I'm
to
clearly not
see.
going to be in there.
If I'm not going to be in there, then I won't have to watch it. So the day she told me that, I was like, wow, okay, truly, if people are making money and I'm watching them, and I'm not making money watching them, so who's at a loss?
Exactly.
So I had to tell myself that. So I said, okay, even if I want to watch TV, because I can't shut down the TV. Let's be realistic. So I had to tell myself. So I had to bargain with the fact that if I can't off the TV totally, how many hours can I use to sit down to watch TV? So I told myself I can spend at least 6 hours. This is going to be 6 hours.
So are you going to be watching 10 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours? Yeah, that's the thing.
I'll make sure I don't watch a serious film.
Is
or
there
I get
a
to watch
skill
I get
to measure
to watch the news.
No, is there a skill that you can use to measure addiction and how to
No, I
and so
think
that you know
that's,
how to to curb it?
I think it has to be self-discipline. You have to be able to discipline yourself to expect that you're able to tell yourself and say, no, it's enough. I've watched enough. And make sure you watch. If you're going to watch anything at all, let it be more of be educative. It's not going to educate you. It's not going to make you think or expand your thoughts or expand your thinking to become something more in life. Then it's not worth it.
Oh, that was so interesting. I'll take you back on that, but before we go, let's go on a commercial break. We're going on a commercial break right now. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Thank you. Welcome back to the AOJ show. I remain your host, Anita Okanigwejon. We still have with me here Angela and Margaret. Now, before we went on commercial break, Angela here refused to accept that she was addicted to television. Please, what do you have to say to her?
Maybe I should ask you a question. Oh, so what do you do for a living?
I'm a makeup artist.
Okay. And what's one of the favorite movies you've ever watched?
Favorite
Movie? Okay, no. Now a series.
Seriously, I can't even think of one right now.
Okay, you can't think of one. Let me give you an example.
we talked
Game
about-
of Thrones. Game of Thrones is one of the powerful series ever. At least that's still in book right
You've
now.
watched that, right?
Yes, I've
And
seen
did
that.
you enjoy it?
Yes, Game of Thrones is good.
Yeah, you enjoyed it. Okay. Now, while you were watching, now I want you to be very realistic with me. While you were watching, you have a call. Now, a client called you and called you at 7 a.m. and told you, meet me by 12, by noon. What time will you leave the house?
A client
A
that will
client.
pay me money.
That will
Remember,
be-
you were watching.
You're watching Game of Thrones.
Money is involved. I will leave the movie and go.
What time will you leave the house? I know you will leave the house, but what time will you leave the house?
At 12 noon.
You have to meet with the client by 12 noon.
Don't forget, you are still watching Game of Thrones.
While your client was calling you were actually watching and you paused it to receive the call. And honestly, let's be sincere, you were watching Game of Thrones at 7 a.m. in the morning and the call came in. You paused to receive the call. What will you do?
After the
What
call,
time?
do you continue?
What time will you leave the house?
I'll leave the house as soon as I'm set to leave. Or if I've given the client a time frame, okay,
the time frame is 12 o'clock.
Particular time I will be with the client.
12 o'clock.
Then I'll leave
By what time?
enough to get there by
What time?
It's 7 o'clock. You were watching 7 o'clock. A call came. You paused the movie, and the client says,
Honestly speaking, now,
by 12.
Yeah. What time will you leave the house?
Honestly speaking, I'm dealing with a client here. Oh, as in
She still refuses to admit that.
Okay, sincerely, no, seriously.
She still refuses to admit that she's addicted.
No, okay, now, why I was asking, because I know it is Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is not kind of a movie that you just get up and leave immediately. You always want to see the next. So I'm sure you leave home by 11:30.
No, let's put it this way. Maybe
no.
Let's leave that.
No.
What I'm really trying to tell you now is that you won't leave home. Okay, you didn't give me time.
This has to do with a client.
It has to do. What if your mom called you? You were watching and your mom called you and she's in the kitchen. How will you get up?
I'll answer her from there.
we got to right
Then I'll pause the movie, go and meet her.
And tell her to rush it up.
If it's something I have to do immediately, I do it. If it's something I can do later, I
Okay, can I say something? You know, you said you paused the movie. What if this is straight from DSTV and you are not able to pause it? It's not like it's a video you slot in and watch and all. It is something, you know, that if you miss that hour, that is it. You're not going to get it back.
I'll look for someone to be on standby. Watch it. Tell me what happened. Okay.
So what I'm really trying to say is that we are addicted one way or the other. It starts gradually. It's not what starts immediately. It catches your attention bit by bit and it steals your hour, your time, your minute, your second, and it slips into your life like that. And we take it casually and say it entertains me. It gives me, it occupies my time. It takes me.
I'm bored.
I'm bored.
I'm sad. So I watch it to make myself happy.
So we give ourselves
it's
excuses.
relaxing.
It's relaxing. Yes, it is. But there are other things you can do to make your brain function more and to be more productive and to be a star yourself.
So is there a process to overcome this addiction?
I would say yes. Number one process is accept the fact that you have a problem that is an addiction.
Well, Angela has refused to accept that she has a problem.
So if you have to accept the fact,
let's leave that.
Let's leave
you have to accept the fact that you have an issue. So if you're not able to tell yourself you have an issue, then you don't have a problem to deal with.
Okay.
But when you know that there's a problem to deal with, then you know you have, okay, that's the first step. The first step on solving the issue. Now after that, you either try to talk to someone if you think you need to talk to someone about it. But you have to have self-discipline. That's one thing. Tell what the problem is. Say it to the face. You are my issue. I don't like you. Say it to it can hear.
I'm Anita.
You have to tell it to yourself. Because I told myself that one time. Because I told myself, this thing, that's that. I want them to watch me.
Okay.
Look, we talk about these people. We know we have a lot of orators these days that they speak and people listen to them. People want to listen to them on radio. People want to listen to them on TV. They buy their CDs. Let people buy my CDs now.
Okay.
Watch me.
So that's step 2, right? So step 3. That all the steps you need to do to overcome.
No. 1, tell yourself. 2, talk to someone. 3, take conscious steps.
Okay.
Of not saying
I'm noting that.
Exactly.
Take conscious steps of saying, okay, I'm not going to do this again. Then walk towards it.
Okay.
Walk towards it. I think.
So I really won't watch
Fantastic.
movies again.
No, you will. You will.
That brings me to: are there like good aspects of watching television?
Yeah, there are good aspects.
So what are the good aspects?
It's educative. Now, for
Let's
instance, we have. I was talking to a friend. I said, okay, what is good about TV? We have a documentary will make you. It broadens your mind. That certain kind of documentary that broadens your mind to things you don't know, like the animal kingdom, the science, and all that. Yes. We have news. News tells you about your world.
There's cartoon.
Yeah, I watch cartoon. I watch travel documentaries.
Exactly. There are so many other things. So those are the good aspects of.
You have to be very specific about the cartoon that you watch.
Cartoon. Tom and Jerry now.
It's educating.
I was addicted to Tom and Jerry. I must confess, I was addicted to Tom and
While I
Jerry.
was growing up, I had lots of cartoons I was actually addicted to. I love Voltron then. I love Super Ted.
I watched Voltron, but I wasn't addicted.
I love Princess Alara, so that was why I actually loved Voltron. I like that super thing. Ton de Vautron.
So you can go on and on and on and will not end. So this is a topic that that is not. I mean, kind of exhaust. Okay, so what would you say to someone who is watching this show and say, look, I am addicted to television. You guys are talking about me right now. What advice would you give to the person?
I would say, if you've confessed it to yourself that you are addicted, that's the first step. Now take a conscious step of not watching. If you can survive not watching 24 hours, that's a step. I didn't survive 24 hours at first when I started, because it was as if I was going to die. Immediately I see NEPA. I knew when everybody shout this, "Up NEPA!" What I shout is, "Up TV!"
Nigerian folks, yeah.
Because I go straight to the TV. So if you can survive having lights in the house
without having to go straight to television,
TV, then you've won one step. That's a great step you've won.
Okay. So what will be your last statement to the viewers?
Well, I think I can survive.
She's still adamant on not being an addict.
24 hours, not watching TV.
Yes.
This is it. You're not going out.
Yes.
You're at home all through the day, and there is light.
Sober reflection.
We need to end this, otherwise we'll go on. No. Thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you for being on the show as well. It was nice having you ladies. I'm sure
nice
next time I'll call you guys again. Maybe this time addiction to social media. Yes.
Instagram.
Yeah. New Facebook. Yes. Thank you, viewers, for watching the AOJ show. I remain your host, Anita Okanigbe. Please watch out for our next edition, Addiction to Social Media. Thank you.